I guess we'll have to eat this boring oatmeal.
It's a trap!
Wow, Admiral Akbar! Wow, Admiral Akbar cereal!
Colorful marshmallows!
Imitation crab meat!
Your tongues can't repel flavor of that magnitude.
Hey guys, and welcome to the first three-man meta podcast. We're three guys from Norwich in England, and we're going to talk about all things Star Wars Destiny. So we're going to cover deck profiles, tournament reports, and any spoilers that FFG decided to throw us our way. So I'm Leighton, and with me I have Danny and James. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, hello, I'm Danny.
And I'm James. So Leighton, tell us a bit about yourself.
So I won't bore you guys with my history of card games. I've been playing various games for a long time, and I've had mixed successes with different games. But I'm really excited to get into this game and try and make this my number one TCG. So Danny, do you want to tell us a bit about your history in card gaming?
Yeah, I have a very limited background in card games. I played a lot of Hearthstone over the last kind of 4 years and was good. Now I'm bad, and I just spend a lot of time in adminning tournaments. I've done kind of majors for True Silver Champion and stuff for Insomnia Gaming Festival. And this is the first kind of physical CCG that I've kind of picked up, and I picked it up because it's Star Wars, and Star Wars is just great.
Yeah, everyone loves the Star Wars. And James, will you tell us a bit about your brief foray in the world of trading card games?
Yeah, very, very brief. Briefer than Danny's, I think. I was the primary school, or the lower school champion at Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was, 7 years old.
That's an accolade and a half.
That is my claim to fame. It's the only tournament I've actually won in a CCG. But yeah, I'm pretty much here because of Star Wars. So, I was a big on X-Wing, and I've sort of gone over to the dark side of Destiny, really.
Well, FFG, they do a good job with the Star Wars license. I mean, I've been playing X-Wing since 2013. I've got a store championship title, got a nice plaque in my living room, and various challenge coins.
Nerd.
But anyway, that's enough talk about about us. You've not come to listen to about us waffle on about what we've done before. You want to hear things about Star Wars Destiny, and we've got a few things we want to talk about today. One of the things we're going to start with is the first official prize tournament that happened at our local Athena in Norwich. We had a pretty good turnout, didn't we, boys?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like to remember that tournament. I sort of drowned my sorrows in whiskey the night that tournament happened.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
Oh, yeah, I went 1-3, and I was quite upset with myself.
I know Danny's going to be chomping at the bit to tell us how he did. So how did you do, Danny, in that tournament?
Well, I thought I did all right. I went 4-0, and I took first place.
My only loss of the day was to Danny. So that was always good.
That's an ongoing theme, isn't it, Leighton?
Well, we'll get into that. We talk about our second tournament.
Yeah. So
it was cool. I mean, the thing is, at our local area, hence why you're wondering why we call three-man meta, is the fact that our local meetups, there just appears to be us three turning up at the moment. But at least at the tournament, there was a few people coming out of the woodwork. Yeah,
we managed to get up to about 8 players for our first tournament, which, it's good. We had kind of a variety of people playing all sorts of stuff, really, didn't we?
Yeah, so I was playing, I guess what people could say is the top tier, the Django Trooper. Danny was playing the Phasma Bala Trooper, which is kind of like the sleeper deck. I think that's kind of snuck in there. People didn't really understand the power of the deck. And what combination were you playing again, James? I know it was Jabba, but who are you with?
It was Jabba Vader at that point, who's been traded out since. Vader's just a bit too slow, I think.
For the double Dooku instead.
That's the one.
Yeah, so there was I think there was a good turnout. There was a Han Ray there. I remember I played against a Qui-Gon Jinn Ray and a Luke Padawan, and I think there was another Django deck there, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was another Django Trooper. Was the one that I beat.
Good job. There was also a Veers Trooper Balati coming a bit off.
Yeah. He was really happy for his to get his TIE Fighter promo, wasn't he? Because he had TIE Fighters in there to try and make use of Veers' ability, and not just have as a damage output machine. But yes, that was our first tournament. It was a little while ago now. In fact, I can't remember what the date was. Can you guys remember the date of the tournament?
I think it was the 19th of February.
Yes, about a few weeks ago. But it was a good turnout. More product becomes available, or more people will be interested on coming down and playing us and try and win some tasty prizes.
Yeah. So shall we move on to our more recent conquest at Whaling Games?
Yeah,
Yes,
so
please.
our most recent. This is we're going to talk more about this this tournament. We travelled on down to Wayland Games, a couple of hours drive for us, and we took notes on this one. So we actually had things to talk about. So it was it a 10 or 12 man tournament this time?
It was 10.
10.
A 10-man tournament. So I've got my notes in front of me. I finished 2-2, which is not particularly great, but my only 2 losses were against Danny and James, so I can't really grumble there too much.
No, yeah. So what deck did you take?
So I went for Hero this time, and I went with Qui-Gon Rey, and me and James have been doing some testing on TTS, and literally probably the night before the tournament, I decided to bang a couple of all-in, and it was the card MVP, I think, of the tournament. I played off against a Luke Akbar first, and that was terrifying because round 1 he decided to roll 2. Well, he rolled Jank first. I put down a Binds All Things. He rolls rubbish again. I play a second of Binds All Things. He then re-rolls a third time and hits the double 3s on Luke. So I was like, oh, great. Here we go. Turn 1, 6 damage. This is like Rey nearly dead or Qui-Gon half dead. But I had the double of Binds All Things into a Jedi Robes to just stick 2 shields on Rey just for him to smash Rey in the face for 6 and strip those shields. But I did win that game. What did you guys play on your first round?
So I took the as you said earlier, the sleeper deck of Elite Phasma, Stormtrooper, and Balatic. I love this deck. It is phenomenal. In my first game, I was playing against Kylo Vader. The game went pretty simple. I loaded Balatic up with upgrades. I rolled out loads of damage and killed Kylo on turn 2.
10 damage to a character on turn 2 is pretty. He's 11 health, isn't he?
He's 11,
He's
yeah.
11, yeah. Fortunately, my Stormtrooper died that same round, just soaking up Vader's 3 dies. He was rolling really, really well. We kind of go backwards and forth. I lose Balatic, and it's just down to Phasma versus Vader. And this is back now. This is like the last turn. He's rolled out 2 3s and the Force Throw special. So I'm just looking
Let me guess. You did the Danny special. Play 2 backup muscles.
Well, yes. Luckily, I had already drawn and played 2 backup muscles already. So I had 2 backup muscles with 2 damage on, and I just needed to roll 1 damage from Phasma to kind of seal out the game for me. And if I rolled any higher, it was just going to get Force Thrown straight back at me, and I was going to die. I had like double jetpack, an F11D, and then Phasma's 2 die. So I roll them all out, and I get 3 blanks, 1 shield, 1 range damage. So I resolve the range damage, and then ping him for 2 backup muscles.
So basically, though your roll was rubbish, you had the dream roll because there's a lot of 2s and 3s on those dice.
Yeah, like 1 3 on the jetpack, it would have just got Force Thrown back at Phasma. She would have died, and I would have lost the game. But luckily, I rolled blanks, said no one ever, and it actually managed to seal me out my first win.
Why can't you roll blanks when I have Force Misdirect and I have a blank? So I can just remove them all. Because it never seems to happen. Whenever I have a Force Misdirect in my hand and I play against you, I'm like, yeah, I've got a blank on the board. He's going to roll a couple of blanks here, and then you just God roll me.
Yeah, it's all about God rolling the right God roll, really. It's a precious technique that I've learned.
And you played as an interesting deck round 1, James. Who did you face against again?
Yeah, I was going to say it was a very interesting deck. It's weird. Qui-Gon Jinn, Rebel Trooper, and Rey.
So the Rey and the Qui-Gon are both single died.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, that was right. It was sort of, I mean, the most ridiculous turn 1 where I had a Ace in the Hole and a Crime Lord. I'm running Jabba Dooku, E-Jabba, E-Dooku. I have a Crime Lord and an Ace in the Hole on my opening hand. I think, this could actually work. I'll keep these. This might be quite good. Roll out Dooku, 2 resources, great. I'm on 4 resources. Roll out Jabba, I get a single resource on one of those die. I'm like, yes, perfect. I've also got a Holocron down on Jabba at this point. And so I think I've got 5 resources. Let's just go for it. Turn 1, Ace in the Hole, Crime Lord. I've got 3 cards left in my hand here. It was just, I discarded, and there's a focus on Jabba and on the Holocron. And I re-rolled all those 3 dice, I think like 3 times or whatever. And in the end, I settled for 2 resources on the Crime Lord and a +1 resource on the Holocron. So I went into my second round with 8 resources. So I had 10 resources at the start of my second round, which is just ridiculous. And I was like, that was such a motivation sapper. I was like, oh my God, like, is this really happening? But in the end, I managed to outmill him because we had I've Lethal as my battlefield, which I won, luckily. And I managed to outmill him. I think I had like 4 cards left in my deck due to Dooku's ability, so I nearly got outmilled myself. But yeah, in the end, it was a long haul with a lot of resources. I got the win with a mill, so I was quite happy with that.
So that basically meant we all won our first round. So inevitably in a 10-man tournament, that meant some of us would be facing off against each other. Yeah. And that meant that me and Danny faced each other in round 2. And it was almost like the grudge match from the previous tournament, trying to my chance to redeem myself and get a victory. But I'm just looking at my notes of what I said about the game, and to which the first bit is backup muscle is bull. dug in on Trooper makes me cry.
Oh dear, that sums up every game against Danny from my
yeah. Well, if I read my notes for this, I forgot to activate Bala, which was I thought maybe a costly mistake, but
I realised something as well afterwards. Actually, like after the drive home, when I was back home. Because you have Mos Eisley as your battlefield, right?
Yeah.
And you won the battlefield, and I put my Jedi robes back into my hand to get a resource, and I played them again round 2, didn't give Rey a shield, and I think I even bounced them back to my hand for round 3, played on Rey again, and didn't get the shield. I'm pretty sure that happened, right?
Wow.
So
I have to say I didn't notice that, but
the whole method to my madness was to keep getting shields and rolling around, because I play all in this deck now. So I quite like the robes more now because they've got the 2 focus sides. But I mean, Danny also, with there's only 1 discard on his dice, and that's on Phasma, and somehow he managed to discard both my all-ins.
Yeah, I think that was pretty skillful, really, for me to know exactly what card was all in and then remove it from your hand.
It's a clutch discard.
It was.
So that was basically a game of a comedy of errors. But like Danny says, when he killed Rey, he just decided to claim on his next action, didn't activate Bala.
Yeah.
And no, it's a May action. I'm not going to remind you.
No, I know, and I knew it. As soon as I said, and I'll claim the battlefield, I was like, no, Balatek, what am I doing?
It was pretty close towards the end. I think I had... No, that's right. Didn't you... Was it... I can't remember if this was in a tester game or in the tournament where you decided you did a endless ranks and bring your trooper back. Or was that in the tester game?
That was in the tester game, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool. So basically, it's like PTSD is all merged into one.
I did manage to win that game by just pinging backup muscle to finish off Qui-Gon, which meant that I won my first 2 games tapping backup muscle for 1 damage.
I think
it's a really good card.
Had 3 shields at the time as well, didn't he? 3 shields and just backup muscle. Nothing you can do. Okay, so then moving into the next round.
I haven't done my second game yet.
Oh, sorry, yes. Well,
that's just rude.
Did you win it?
Just rude. Yeah, well, I did actually, yeah.
Okay, cool. On to round 3.
It's alright, I just milled really quickly against Kylo Vader, which I presume is the same Kylo Vader that Danny played in the first round, I'm not sure.
No, it was a different opponent.
Oh, is it? Oh, Kylo Vader's there?
I think there was 3 Kylo Raiders there.
Really?
Yeah,
that is interesting.
Yeah, I think it was, because there was like hardly any villains, wasn't there? No, that's right, there was hardly any guns. There was a lot of melee, wasn't there?
Yeah, hence the meta post that we did on our Facebook. It was strange. I think we all ran a copy of Dodge, didn't we? Probably, and we just.
The only time I used my Dodge was against Danny, because that's the only guns deck I played.
Moving on to round 3, though, Leighton.
Yeah, so 3. I played against a Kylo Vader deck, and I had the most ridiculous turn. So I just got the nuts off again with One with the Forces out. Sorry, with Binds All Things. I had 2 One with the Forces out on Rey, and a Lifesaver on Qui-Gon. So that's pretty ridiculous. That's like, let's do some quick math. That is 9. No, that's not 9. That's 11. 11 resources worth of equipment upgrades on characters, and I'd already killed his Kylo, so he had his Vader left. Vader was on 1 shield and fully healthy. So I had a Qui-Gon rolled out, rolled blank, and 2 melee. So then I rolled out Rey and the 2 One with the Forces. I can't remember what the results were, but all I care was there was a 2 focus on one of the One with the Force die. So I just played all in, focused the other one to 3, giving me 4 more focus to then go +2 on Rey, +2 on Rey, +2 on lightsaber, 2 on Qui-Gon Jinn. Just punch Darth Vader in the face for 10 damage.
Brutal.
And he was just like,
brutal.
"Yep, that's a thing." and I said to him, "I hope you don't feel like I'm rubbing salt in the wound, but I've got to take a picture of this because that was pretty disgusting." And needless to say, after that, it was pretty much an uphill battle for him then.
I mean, when you got Vader left on 4 health against a fully healthy, well, maybe not fully healthy, but a fully tooled up Rey Qui-Gon, that's going to be difficult to pull that back.
I'm fairly sure he did kill Rey, but then obviously I got my 2-1 with the forces as supports then. Qui-Gon Jinn was done. He had deflected the 3 from one of my 1 with the forces back to Qui-Gon. I had that 1-1 with the force left. I had 3 cards in my hand. I just kept discarding until I rolled the 3. And I got it. Got the 3 range to finish him off. So that was a pretty crazy game.
Yeah.
And what about you boys? Who did you face in the 3rd round?
Well, do you want to take it away, Danny?
Yeah, okay. So I'm feeling pretty good at this point. I've won my first 2 rounds. I smashed Leighton in round 2. That was always a highlight.
Smashed?
Yeah.
Smashed. You had. I think I distinctly remember actually. In fact, I had like 3 health left.
No, I don't.
3. I think I had 4 because I think I was on 3 shields and I was like, "Please draw a riposte. Please draw a riposte," and then you just back up muscled me to death.
No, I'm pretty sure all my characters are at full health, but. So I sit down at round 3, and James sits down opposite me because he's obviously won his 2nd game. And
so the meta faced each other for the whole tournament.
Yeah, it's worth the 2-hour trip.
Yeah, it was. We got some fabulous prizes and some great games. Like, for instance, one with me and James. I basically just played loads of upgrades on all my characters. I think by the end of the game, Balatik and Phasma both had 3 upgrades on them, and a Stormtrooper had an F11D rifle. I seem to remember that because James was running a mill deck, the only damage the Stormtrooper has taken was about 4 damage that he had probably Guardianed to try and remove
Guardian. Yeah.
Dooku's dive.
I mean, I have a different recollection of that. I have my notes here on hand say, so 3rd game against Danny, hands, poor dice. Danny had no cards in his deck. He won with 3 cards in his hand. Wanker. Which, that about sums it up. You had 3 cards left in your hand.
I did.
But
it was close if it wasn't for the fact that my characters were like tooled up.
And
I've still got written on my notes here for round 3 that backup is still a very good card, and that probably means I backup muscled you to death as well.
Yeah, Dooku doesn't like backup muscle with his ability. He does not like that at all.
I don't think anyone likes
triples
backup
under
muscle.
Oh, no, especially Dooku.
I also had
I mean, as in people who play the game, they look at backup muscle and go.
Shut up.
I also had a really good play actually with Commanding Presence on Phasma, where he's got 3 cards in his hand, and I've rolled out, and I've got a special on Commanding Presence, a discard on Phasma, and a Stormtrooper on 2 damage. And James leans over and goes, "That 2 damage is 4 damage because of Commanding Presence." And I was like, yeah, it is. So he mitigates it away. I think he used deflect or something. He removed it. And I go, "That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted him to do." Because what I then did was Commanding Presence the discard side from Phasma to make him discard the last 3 cards in his hand. And
Which
then
was the worst thing ever.
Proceeded to re-roll all my die and do about 5 damage to him, which he then had no more cards to then discard to reduce it. It was great.
This is why I don't get why people say that deck isn't good. It does everything you need to. You've got the mill when you need, the backup muscle disgustingness when you need, Guardian all the time. So,
I mean,
cry.
I think the best thing about that deck is how the Stormtrooper has cannon fodder every turn without it costing an action.
Yeah.
It's just like the deck only runs double flank, double electroshock, double he doesn't like you. That's it for removal.
It's enough.
So run 6 removal
Yellow's
cards. And
got
then
more
it's just
removal options, I think, than any colour other than maybe villain blue with like
isolates and deflects. Yeah.
Use the force, Immobilise is always nice.
But so that then rolled into the final round. So Danny was on 3-0, I was on 2-1, James was on 2-1, and obviously, good old 2-hour trip. means that me and James face each other in the final round, while Danny plays against the person that James beat in round 1 for the final, which always just felt a bit weird. But that was the way it rolled out, wasn't it? And so in our game, so it was Mill versus Qui-Gon Jinn. And the thing with Qui-Gon Jinn, he doesn't like facing against Dooku because Qui-Gon Jinn Rey, it's like the death of 1,000 cuts deck. It's ping you for 1 here, Rey hits you for 1, Qui-Gon hits you for 2 maybe. So it's quite hard to kill the Dooku. And I guess I kind of I had the memory of a game we'd played before where I was playing Vader Raider against your deck, and I think I killed your Dooku round 2.
In that one, yeah. On TTS, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, Rey and Qui-Gon can do that. And I went for Dooku first, and I probably should have gone for Jabba first because you just milled the out of me.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that the most memorable part of that, I think I took a picture, is the my opening hand post mulligan. So I mulliganed all 5 cards, and in it I got 1 deflect, which is, well, it's useless against you anyway. And then I got, well, 4 of my highest costing cards. So I got 2 Crime Lords and 2 Mind Probes. And I just remember just saying, sorry, like, I'm just going to have to take a picture of this hand quickly. Like, I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, for God's sake, like, this is not what I needed.
But even with the worst possible hand, I still couldn't beat you. So
yeah.
What does it say about me?
Yeah, it was. I think it was fairly close though in the end, wasn't it? I
mean, you actually killed Rey with damage. There was no crime lording going off. You actually killed Rey with damage, and then it was Qui-Gon. It was pretty healthy versus your Jabba, but I just didn't have enough damage. I had like 3 cards left in my hand. And
I think I had a Mind Probe in Jabba, didn't I? And I just kept rolling that Mind Probe special, which seems to be. I don't normally do. I'm normally awful with rolling that special, but at that tournament, most games I got Mind Probe out, and most games I rolled the special. I couldn't believe it. And I think
definitely at least once. Once.
So I think I did quite well in that respect. I think I ended up winning with. I think I focused a Force Choke and a Mind Probe into 3 discard to discard your last 3 cards or something like that.
Yeah, and I had and I think I think you just. Well, I saw it on the board, and I think I had like those cards in my hand, so I think I went for the final reroll. And I think Jabba was on 5 health left, and my only hope, that I could win, was to roll the 3 ranged on 1 with a Force, and the 2 melee on Qui-Gon. So I had literally the most outrageous odds. So that's 2 1 in 6s. So does that mean it's a 2 in 12? How do odds work?
I think you reduced it down to 1 in 6. I think, but
yeah. So that was my odds of winning, but it was just it just wasn't to be. I didn't get any all-ins off against you either. So the other 2 people who play fair decks, I got all-in off against them, and it was pretty devastating. Against you 2 schmucks, it was you discarded them all, so I didn't do anything with them. Finished off with Danny with his 2nd win, so he's very happy to get his 2nd set of tokens.
Yeah, I beat Rey Qui-Gon Troop, and I got a bit greedy halfway through that game and had Phasma with like 6 damage showing on modified side, and I just needed that 1 base damage to just blow out the game basically, and I just didn't really roll to try and get that modified side. I was just faffing around, and he just kind of just blew Phasma out from nowhere really, which kind of made me panic a bit because I had Balatik on the hunt left to try and win me the game. But I just hard mulligan, managed to pick out 2 holdout blasters, and loaded them onto Bala, and just kind of managed to win by playing backup muscle, actually. Last point of damage, just tapped the backup muscle and won the game, yeah. So my notes say backup muscle is a very, very, very good card.
You're the reason why I want to play Red Hero, so I can play Surgical Strike.
Yeah.
Just so I can get rid of it. But yeah, so end result. So Danny won, got his tokens. Yeah. James came 2nd, so he got himself a nice Kylo.
Yeah.
And then I finished 4th, so I got myself another TIE Fighter. I've got 2 sets of tokens, so it's I was happy.
Yeah, I think James just lacked. Did you get tokens as well, James? Or
no, fortunately not. Just the Kylo, just the Kylo this time.
All right, there's still a couple of tournaments coming up, but hopefully we can get you some tokens.
Yeah, I could use some acrylics just for those games where I triple discard to reroll crime an ace in the whole crime lord and end up with 10 tokens in turn 2. Yeah, it'd be nice to have some acrylics for moments like that. Make me feel better.
Yeah. It does feel weird having the nice acrylic resources and still having the starter cardboard damage ones. I need to hurry up ones. on the peasant tokens. They need to hurry up and bring out some more tokens. I could just buy some acrylics, but I want to go full FFG official with this game.
That is my plan as well.
So what? Have we got some upcoming tournaments as well? I think we've got Cambridge, have we? Is there one in Cambridge?
Yeah, next Friday.
You never
I
know.
may be able to attend. It all depends on work and whatnot.
Boo, work.
Yeah. I know, I've got an X-Wing tournament that weekend, so I'm playing an Escalation X-Wing tournament. So it'll depend how the brain feels. Well, that's going to be a long old day. Because that's the thing. That's why I'm enjoying going back to playing sort of like traveling, doing card game tournaments. Because when you play an X-Wing tournament, you're standing up for hours on end. I think I said to you boys before, the longest tournament I've ever done, where I kicked off at 9 and I got home at 1:30, and I lived 10 minutes walk away from the shop. So that's literal playtime. Playing from 9 until 1:30, and that was fatiguing. And normally, after I do a big tournament like that, I have to just have a break from the game for a while. But the good thing about this is you can just sit down, smash out 4 rounds. Even if there was a top cut, man, and you've got like an extra couple of rounds, I'd still would come home the next day and be like, yeah, let's look at my cards and let's work on something new and tweak my deck, as opposed to just being like, right, I'm done, I need a break.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like 4 rounds of Star Wars Destiny is over in 2.5 hours, and it just keeps the game fresh, doesn't it? It just makes it feel really snappy, and like you don't really fatigue. I'm still waiting for the time where we do have a 16-round tournament that top 4 cuts into best of 3s, and see how I feel after that. But
yeah, I feel like I've got the endurance to power through though. X-Wing has been good training. I feel like all those tournaments, hearts on fire. You know, like I've had a good montage for it. Well, I said, James, you were saying you want to come to the X-Wing tournament. We'll have to have that playing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have to. We have to get the Rocky montages out. So that's tournaments out the way. Well, one thing I'm going to interject quickly before we go on to the next bit is just something that came up today, and no, it's not what you boys think I'm probably going to talk about today. It's an interesting deck that I faced today on TTS. So we were chatting, and good old Tiny Grimes, he's really kind of popularized the Kylo Dooku deck, which I was really surprised that no one was playing that at the tournament we just had. There's a lot of Vader, and as I was saying in the car, I would no way play Vader over Dooku. Like, I'd rather have the 2 dice. I mean, what does Vader give you? 1 dice Vader give you that 2 dice Dooku doesn't. Now, obviously, some people don't own 2 dice Dooku, but own 1 dice Vader. But yeah, what would it not give you? But anyway, so I went on TTS expecting to see a lot of that, and I faced against an elite Finn, elite Akbar deck.
Right.
Wow. How was that?
Did you get us trapped?
Yeah, he did some very dirty plays. Things like putting a Hollout Blaster on Finn to get another action, and then playing Hit and Run to then activate a character, and then roll out with Finn with more guns, and then he didn't hit to trap me because I played about 3 games against him, and I'd use a different deck each time because I wanted to kind of see what the deck could do, and I didn't play any guns because I knew he'd just annihilate me with it's a trap. Maybe when I had actually on one game I had the one ranged on a force throw, and there was no traps were played. But it just seemed like a pretty cool deck. It's an elite deck. It's running yellow and red, which I think are 2 very strong hero colours. It's got some good shenanigans. And also, one thing that I like the look of it as well, you can put Surgical Strike in that deck.
Yeah, you're just looking at Danny, I can feel it right now.
Yeah, I saw that. It was literally like, I can put Surgical Strike in this. All right, play backup muscle. Let's see you play a backup muscle.
So next Monday is that the play? Is it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I do like Finn. I think Finn is very good. Well, you compare Finn to Django. They have almost identical dice. The only difference is a 1 modified resource versus a 1 shield on Finn. Just obviously why Django was so good is Django's ability. But yellow, you got electroshocks. He ran reversal in there.
Did he have the money for that? That's quite a pricey card.
Well, he had logistics, and obviously, Akbar's a moneymaker. He's got 2 money sides, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a moneymaker. So, I mean, reversal wasn't great against me, per se, but I can see, as a meta call, it being a good card. So maybe it's something we'll have to play out, but that was a segue, a little random segue there's a thought. But the next thing we actually are going to talk about is the recent, well, in fact, we had on our notes here, we've got press releases about low product. I don't think we need to talk about the low product thing. I think a lot of other sort of outlets would be talking about that. I want to talk about what dropped today.
Oh, taking it off rails.
I'm taking this off the rails. We're going right off the rails. And I want to talk about what dropped today, and that is the new spoilers for the Spirit of the Rebellion, and the 3 full art cards that you can get your hands on. So, where should we start here? Where should we start on this bit, boys? As I'm taking this off the rails. I think
the most important thing really is, oh my god, IG88, what a god card! Like, I mean, what's his price? What's his special going to be? I'm just so excited. The artwork is awesome, and he's 12 health. I mean, that's a new target for my Crime Lord, my love of the Ace Crime Lord. Anyway.
Well, so the train has come off the rails, and let's put it on the speculation track. What do we think this special will do?
I think the special, because he's the first droid character, I wouldn't be surprised to see like it be like a repair or like some kind of health gain. Like that would be super cool.
Well, let's think about the IG series. There's 4 of them, right? You know, they're all kind of like mind linked together because they're one consciousness in 4 robots. I doubt there'll be like another Krennic style, like, oh yeah, roll out another IG robot die. But the robot thing could be good, the whole repairing thing. But I'm just trying to think what sort of design space they could have with the character, because you see a lot of the specials and on cards and the abilities are quite thematic to what the actual. They're quite fluffy to the actual character, like Grievous and stealing people's weapons. Kylo Ren kind of like trying to use the Force to probe your mind, but sometimes he does 0 damage because he's not a very good Sith Lord, if he's even a Sith Lord. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he does. But I think the price point is going to be quite high.
Yeah, I imagine he's going to be Jyn Erso, Luke, Vader kind of levels. I think you're looking at like 17, 20 or something very similar. It depends how good that special is.
Yeah, I mean, a 2 range and a 3 range already. There's no modified, there's no ones, and 12 health. It's already a lot. The fact that he's got a special on his die is just more bang for your buck, really, isn't it? But it's already looking like an expensive card. Yeah,
there's no money required on that damage either. So that's just 3 straight damage. I haven't got to worry about paying any bucks. I can spend all my money on jetpacks and more guns.
Yeah, just think how many more guns are going to be in this set.
But
if he's 1720, just pair him up with a Death Trooper. Let's just go all new.
I was thinking that. Yeah,
that's a lot of guns. That's a lot of guns.
22 health as well, and you could probably fit in a Endless Ranks. Imagine that.
Because Endless Ranks is a card like Abandon, I hope. Yeah, you do kind of feel a bit crushed. I've got to lose my money, or I'll lose my hand. But I tell you what really makes you abandon all hope. When a bloody Stormtrooper comes out from the depths. When you're running a character with Guardian. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You abandon all hope. You flip the table.
It'll be even worse with Death Trooper, won't it? It's going to be worse.
Yeah, 10 health, better die. I'm looking forward to playing the triple Death Trooper list.
So the 3 other cards that we saw, there is the Command Shuttle, which is a 3-drop. I'm doing this from memory now, boys. A 3-drop support vehicle, and I decided to zoom in and translate the. Well, I went for all this difficulty of translating the Arabesh. I was really proud of myself. Yeah, I've definitely worked out what it does. Went on Star Wars Destiny, read it, and there's like 3 people that beat me to it.
No problem.
I thought I'll go on Facebook quickly and I'll put and I like photoshopped a picture. I'll put it on Facebook. Yeah, there's like 4 people that beat me to it.
Gotta be quicker.
I was like, oh god. But I wasn't just like posting. I was doing a little Photoshop, a little picture.
Yeah. So what does the special say?
Well, we believe that it says. I can't remember what it says word for word, but basically it's a crap cunning. That's what we decided.
It's a crap cunning, isn't it?
It depends how good the rest of that die is, though, whether or not it's a good cunning or a better cunning.
I don't like supports in the game as it is so far. Anyway, I think they're just too slow. That's my opinion. I'm sure everyone's different, especially Danny with backup muscle, and backup muscle was great. I think that's probably the only sport I really like. It's strange. I think it's strange that it's blue. I would have expected red or grey, to be honest. I know it's Kylo's shuttle, but it's a command shuttle. It's a military ship. I don't know what makes it force powered.
Yeah, it's like the new Lambda, isn't it? That's the way I see the shuttle. Like,
yeah, I don't see why it's Is it only for force users? Like, I don't get that at all. Why it's blue?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's obviously in X-Wing. Sorry to talk a different FFG game. Obviously, that shuttle, Kylo was a pilot for it, but it's just obviously just a villain. It's the First Order faction. I mean, Kylo in the film, he does fly. So yeah, I see what you're saying. It's strange that they made it blue, but I think there's already a vehicle. There's 2 vehicles for red already. I mean, obviously you'd expect red, the villain Kylo, to have a lot anyway, but I guess it just kind of they put it in there just to try and give blue something. And there's obviously this other spoiler now, Overkill. Sorry, this support Overkill. It does feel like with this set they're trying to put a bit more weight behind the support slot, because at the moment, like you say, it is quite slow. You spend all that money for 1 dice. You can't ever upgrade that. So when you roll it, you are always going to only be rolling 1 die. Maybe later down the line there may be a card similar to. God, I'm so good at being a podcast person. You know, the card that allows you to roll all your generics out at once. What's that bloody
Squad Tactics.
Squad Tactics.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a Squad Tactics for vehicles, so you can roll out your 2 TIE fighters at once. I mean, I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah.
But it does feel like there's what they revealed, because with Overkill as well, that's a crazy red hero support with +1, +2, +3, +3, blank and blank. So that has made the hit and run, it's a trap combo slightly more disgusting.
Yeah, definitely. Like, when you can get 2 of those out as well, so that, like, even if you're with Akbar Leia still, you can get 2 from Akbar, 4 from Leia, and then 6 from your supports. Like,
yeah, that is blowing someone up.
Yeah. Definitely.
Don't care who you are, you dead.
Yeah, it does sound like it could actually be really filthy, to be fair.
But yeah, so command shuttle, zooming into the little image, so I think at the moment it has mystery side, 1 resource, special, right?
So it's just 1 special?
I believe so. I'm now loading up the article again, the new article.
Oh yeah, there's a little mission brief one, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's got 2, it's got 2
2 specials, yeah, it's got 2 specials there and 1 blank.
So it has mystery side. We think that might be a resource because it's a square one, and then 2 specials. So I would probably say that's got to be probably at least 1, maybe 1 range, 2 ranged, or it could be 2 range for $1.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that supports play a bigger role in the future sets, because they're such a great way to add like vehicles and into the game. Like, being able to play the Millennium Falcon is really good. Yesterday I managed to actually get out an ATST in a game, which was...
Oh yeah, the dream. You sent a message.
I did. I rolled 5 damage. It got deflected back into me. It was amazing.
that is the dream.
Yeah.
It's the dream right there. Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to get elements from the Star Wars universe into the game without them having to be characters. Like you say, the Falcon, ATST. You can see a little army of Ewoks being a support later down the line.
Yeah, there was a spoiler that didn't really get talked about a lot last week, when the back of some gaming magazine, which has a planetary uprising.
The Wookiees.
And it's got a lot of Wookiees on it, yeah. So
yeah.
Who knows what that actually does, but I love Wookiees, so...
Yeah, and this Overkill's obviously showing Baze Malbus from Rogue One. So we have got a couple of Rogue One characters. We've got Chirrut, is that his name?
Chirrut Inway.
Yeah, so we've got him as a character. So it's another way of like getting elements of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, and it's getting characters in without
them having to be character cards. Because we're going to get 24 characters a set.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. 4 colour, 4 per faction. Yeah, but the thing is, the stuff we've talked about isn't even the best part of this announcement to me. The best part about the announcement is the pre-release announcement that I'm going to get 3 packs of the new set in, 1, 2, 3.5 weeks?
Oh yeah, it's crazy how soon it is. Yeah. So we can play around with them and stuff and see more cards.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Which means by 3.5 weeks' time, hopefully, we'll have the whole set spoiled as well.
Yeah, I would have thought.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's really... And that means tabletop simulator, fun times.
Yeah. Because as we've said before, like it's fun, like Danny's kind of a bit against playing the new cards on Tabletop Simulator at the moment because there's like been 15 cards spoiled.
Yeah, so I feel like the combos people are playing at the moment are totally irrelevant to what will actually come out of the set. And like people are saying, oh, like Vader Grievous is going to be really good, and I'm sure it will be really good, but it'll look nothing like it does at the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like there's got to be some red melee weapons come out eventually, as there will eventually be red melee.
Oh yeah, I mean the front image of the booster, surely that we're going to get that Riot baton as an upgrade. I'd hope.
Well, do you know what? Never dawned upon me that would be a thing.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember some people being like, oh yeah, we're going to get TR8 Tara, you know, whatever his real name is, you know, the traitor trooper from Force Awakens, but. I mean, it just looks like it's meant to be looking like the camera looks more pointed at the weapon, and it just looks. Yeah, at the minute I love Grievous. You know, it's him and Django are my first deck really, but it just needs more red weapons, so it doesn't have to rely on Force users or for the lightsabers or things like that. So I'm hoping we get the right baton. That'd be really cool. Yeah, because you forget that BB-8 is obviously the picture on the first
Awakenings,
and he's a card. So very often, FFG are obviously recycling all those art assets they have, so definitely this will be a card. And yeah, like I say, from looking at the composition of the image, is definitely going to be a weapon. Other things that we kind of saw. So we've talked a bit about Overkill, that being crazy, Command Shuttle crazy. In fact, that's all, isn't it? Really, there's essentially been 3 new spoilers, and to which two of them are half spoiled.
Yeah,
because eagle-eyed people will see that on the image with IG-88. You can see on the top of the die a special side and a shield side. So we know there's 3 range, 2 range, 1 shield special. So, and one of those will be a blank. So is he going to have a disrupt? Is he going to have a buck? Or is he going to have a discard? I would have thought, being yellow, it'll be a coin.
Yeah.
Maybe all about that
as well. I think the only other thing to really mention from this kind of article as well is that they've done the mission briefing for the pre-release. Like, I missed the pre-release for Awakenings because I didn't know the game existed. So
I was too late. I was too late to get a place. So I watched people play, and then.
And where are those people now?
Let's not be too salty.
No. Although in my tournament notes it does say that both Leighton and James are salty. So.
I said I'm just old and what's the word I said? Just
grizzled.
Not grizzled. I mean, I am a grizzled kid, man. Just old. Can't be arsed. It just annoys me when younger people beat me. No.
So the kind of the mission briefing is just you get a promo Death Trooper if you deal 4 damage at once, or you bring an extra deck, and you get the supporting fire. What was the Overkill for if you buy the 3 Destiny packs, or you have 6 resources. And then the last one is play 2 games as hero or play 2 games as villains to get the shuttle.
It's interesting because it's a villain only card. I would have thought they would have done like a neutral card.
Yeah.
Or
for the shuttle.
Yeah.
I think they've just
first order, isn't it? First order of the baddies.
Yeah.
I think they've just done that to kind of like level out that you don't have to play a villain deck at the pre-release.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It would be nice if they would have done
a different card.
Yeah.
Got a hero card, a villain card, a neutral card.
Yeah. Or a neutral.
So now really in the promo slot, we've now got 4 villain promos, 2 hero. So it's a bit skew at the moment. That might mean that further down the line.
Villains are the favourite, right? They are just better.
Yeah, well, they appear to be winning more tournaments. So the hero, I think, because hero's a bit too honest. The thing is about card games, about any game, any ability that circumvents or cheats or changes rules is always strong.
Yeah.
So that's why Django's so good, because he breaks the rules of the game. When I went to that pre-release, I was too late to enter. All the sets have been bought. Jamie at Athena let me buy a couple of boosters, and I watched a few games, and I pulled a Django, and I read that card, and I just went, this guy is going to be big. I knew then he was going to be big. I hadn't watched anything. I hadn't watched Tiny Grimes. I didn't even have a laptop at the time, and I recently bought my laptop, so I hadn't played on TTS, even though TTS existed. So I didn't even realize there was a meta about people playing, and I just knew this card is going to be big, and I think he's always going to be big. It's just a great ability. Doesn't matter that his actual dice aren't fantastic. Stick some guns on him. That's why he's good. But that's a conversation that's been had 100 times over already. Right, so what else have we got to waffle on about? As you can see, guys, so I will apologise here. This is our first podcast, our first time doing this, so we may be waffling on and talking over each other a little bit, but stick with us. Yeah. We will get better at this. We'll buy better equipment. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm talking to these guys through a baked bean can and a string. I will invest in the microphone.
It's just how you sound, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, in real life. Sounds like it sounds like in real life.
Again with these digs. You know, you beat me once, mate, in a tournament.
Yeah, I've beaten you twice though, so I can keep going, right?
Right. Okay.
I think that works. Yeah, that works.
Well, you both embraced the dark side. I tried to balance out my soul. You know, I was villain first tournament. I played hero second tournament. You know, you guys over here playing the same deck twice. Oh, what's that about, eh?
I didn't play the same deck twice.
So you're telling me Jabba Vader and Jabba Dooku are two completely different decks? Right?
They are, mate. If you see, I'll show you my original Tabletop Simulator deck, and I'll show you the current one, and you'll be surprised. It has evolved.
Okay.
I'll see you on TTS. So I think coming up now, what's next for the 3-man meta for those listening? Leighton, do you want to take it away?
Well, there's the tournament in Cambridge that you two guys are going to, and I'm a maybe. There is a big thing for me actually. I've got into the season 2 of the Tabletop Simulator League, so I'm in that league. It's going to be quite fun. So I will be reporting. Guess how those games go?
Yeah, because you let us know sign-ups had ended.
Well,
I seem to remember.
I didn't realise I was dad of the group.
You're the alpha. You're the alpha. You need to tell us when and where to go to do things, and then we'll do it.
You do. Yeah, I didn't realise I was alpha then. You know, you do have access to social media. I thought you could have checked.
Just salty.
There's it goes up to League X. So what's that? 25 groups, 10. So it's like 250 players. So I don't know how big it was the first time round, but that's quite. I'd envision quite an increase of players.
Yeah, well, that's all right. We've got to wait another 6 weeks or so until season 3 rocks round, and then we can all get in on the action.
Well, I think it'd be longer actually. If you think it's 10 matches, everyone's got to play each other once. So and it's a game a week. I think they want to do it. Right. So it's going to be 10 weeks for that to happen, and then I believe it's going to be the top place of each league. So each 25 league.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's 24, isn't it? X. Yeah, 24 leagues.
Yeah.
They'll go into a single elimination tournament, because I do believe the current League 1, Season 1, now only in top 8. Top 8 are playing their matches soon.
Right, okay.
I don't, that's gone on any further yet. Last post I saw was just the top 8 players who was left in that. So that's still got a couple of rounds to go. We've got the semis and 2 more rounds to go, I should say. So I think it's going to be a while. I wouldn't imagine season 3 would kick off until this set drops.
No, yeah, it's going to be probably about May time when season 3 starts, I think, which will be interesting.
And of all those 250 players, whilst I was recording this podcast, I had Steam open, and someone who I just added on there from playing some games on TTS said I'm in his league with him. So out of 250 people, of all the people that play Star Wars Destiny, some random person from America who I'd played a couple of games with, turns out he's in my league as well. So that's quite a small world. It's a small world.
It is a small Destiny world.
And that's what we're talking about. So that's what I will be mainly focusing on while these guys do tournaments.
You're going to be Twitch streaming any of those? For the,
yes, I probably will. If I don't stream it live, I will definitely record. So that's one thing that definitely the meta will be doing. We're going to be streaming a lot more. We've done couple of streams, so we will obviously post up on our social media outlets. You can find us on Facebook, 3-Man Meta, and we post up on there. And we're going to be streaming. We spam the internet. So if you're on Reddit, we'll post when we're going to be streaming, and we'll also post on the European and the World Destiny groups. Only problem is for you guys over the pond is obviously we are in GMT, so there's quite a big hour difference, but we'll do something. We'll sort something out. So we'll definitely stream, and obviously we might try and get a YouTube presence going as well. So good games and highlights will go up on there for you guys to see. But yeah, I'll definitely do the TTS League stuff. Put some stuff up on there. And that's basically it from us for this first podcast, I guess. Unless there's anything else you boys want to bring up and talk about.
No, just get in touch if you want us to talk about anything. If we're boring, tell us.
Yeah.
We'll stop.
I think that's the main thing. We just want loads of feedback from you guys. So we're on all the social media: Facebook, Twitter. We've got a Discord channel. You can come talk to us directly on there. We'll put all these links in the show notes.
Perfect.
Cool. Well, anyway, thanks for sticking with us, and hope you guys enjoyed. And we will see you guys next time. On the Three Round Meta says goodbye from Leighton. Am I going to do goodbyes? No, that's really stupid. So just bye from us. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
See ya.
Cloud City will be cloudy this evening, followed by clouds.